I'm reminded of this conversation that I had with Dr. Yasser Qadi, and we did a podcast together. And I told him that my belief is that the only theological code of conduct which has legal pluralism, so to say, in the modern linguistics, embedded and theorized and has theological value, is Islam, where you have the Quran says, you introduce all of these universals, all of the rights, what Islam says to all of the people. But at the end of the day, to them their deen, to them their religion, and to your own if they don't agree. And then you establish a contract in terms of jizya for protection and let them have their space. So in the modern context, what we in constitutional theory call legal pluralism, that there is legality, there is supra legal framework, which is the meta legal framework of Islam, but there are micro legalities which are operating within that, of course with some level of restrictions in terms of what can be exported, but also
Just to be, yeah,
yes, please go ahead.
just to be clear, when you said these micro legalities under that global legalities of Islam, just to be clear, that global legality just comes back to fundamentally protecting life and property, because it's not enforcing Islamic the beliefs that are for the Muslim community, which is structured by the Sharia, on the other faith communities. To the extent, I always give this example, and people might find it offensive, but in our Hanafi fiqh book, in a chapter called, I think it's Nikah al-Mushrikeen, I can't remember now, but it's in the Hidayah, it's well known. It's like hidden doctrine that the jurists are being told, sorry?
Yeah, please go ahead.
That you cannot interfere with the incestual marriages of the Magians because they are a protected faith community. So in our ethics, that's unethical. In our ethics, or in our, what can I say, social acceptance or values, that's disgusting. But the law is saying you cannot interfere. It's part of their code. They are conducting these marriages in their places of worship, under their clergy, and we have promised them a safety, and that safety is not to interfere. And so whenever, that's why I said, if you're very careful, whenever you think there's an Islamic controlling, that's what everyone's terrified of, Sharia. But that's not, that's exactly what you've said, it's the only code. Again, I can't say that without studying all historical codes, but it's very hard to imagine another code which believes in a fundamental, demonstrable, non-relational truth claim, that there's a ultimate truth, and yet on the legal social plane, it condones and protects a regime of multiple truths in the legal sense. And so it's really important to really understand that. Going to Abu Hanifa, even, I'm sorry to be so specific in this very unpleasant topic, but if there's one couple in an incestual marriage, like a guy married his sister, and the sister comes to the Muslim Qadi, says, can you divorce me? Abu Hanifa says the Qadi's got no power to divorce her, because this was conducted in a protected faith community. Why are we interfering? Abu Hanifa only allows if both of the couple come to the Muslim judge and they say, can you give us a paper to separate us? Abu Hanifa says, fine, the Muslim judge can now separate as arbitrator of both parties. So it's really important to understand, even what you call an Islamic value on top, we're not in, they are fully protected to buy and sell pork, to buy and sell wine. And so it's just to be really, really clear that the code on top really returns to protection of life and property as its fundamental purpose, which can involve things like prohibiting usury, by the way, because they felt that usury is prohibited by all ancient codes, and it undermines the safety of the market. So I just want to interrupt you at that one point. We can debate it further, but just so listeners don't get confused by what you've just said as well.